All right. So you've got an IMMO issue throwing you a code. This is a 2016 Chevy Colorado, but all the internals are 2021, so it's a little bit of an oddity. What you need to get at the module is a 7mm socket, one screw on the bottom. You want to get in and pry the top off. Can't do it with one hand. Just like that. And just do the same thing on the other side. So it helps if your steering wheel's all the way out to get this next part off. So you got to work that all the way back. So there's a few different latches on it. There we go. So now that it's all separated, the lower should drop down. Actually, no, the lower won't. Not until you remove the steering wheel. But the upper will come off. Try and be careful not to damage your control. Just give it a little wiggle. There we go. Okay. So this ring right here is your immobilizer encoder. And that is that's the piece that reads the chip that's in your key. So this reads it and sends the signal to the ECU and the BCM to confirm the code is correct. And then once those modules recognize that that code's correct, then they will allow the vehicle to start. So I wanted to just investigate this to see if this was causing my issue. It looks like it's all still intact. There's no real way to test it, but I can check the wiring to make sure all the wiring is good. Appears to be fine. So this ring is wired to a module that sits up right under here. You can't see with this panel on, but it's wired into that module, and that's what is hooked into the ECU and the body control module. So I don't want to pull it right now because I'm waiting on a scanner to show up so that I can try to do the IMMO reset. The challenge right now is that the code that's showing up is specific. It specifically says that the system is in a learn, which is why the ignition won't or the ignition switch won't allow the vehicle to start. So I want to get in and try and complete that relearn or exit out of the learn procedure and see if that fixes it. And if it doesn't, then I'll have to get into swapping out components. The process for removing the steering wheel is a little bit tedious. So I use a 1/8 tungsten TIG rod. And a pair of vice grips. And what I do, there's a little hole on the side of the steering wheel on both sides. This is a 3-post airbag. So first thing you do, disconnect the battery. And then what you need to do is you need to get, there's like a little latch, which I'll show you after, inside here that hooks into the pin. It hooks into the pins that hold the steering airbag on. You need to depress that latch. So you need to find it, and you need to depress the latch with your rod. There we go. So you see how that's, the airbag is separated a little bit there. So now what I need to do is I need to put a wedge in there so it doesn't pop back in accidentally. Alright, so I flip the steering wheel around so you guys can see. This is the bottom of the 3 posts right here. So to get this bottom tab, easiest way is just to get in here with the wheel upside down. There we go. See how it's just released there. So now get another wedge. Just slide that in so that my airbag doesn't decide to re-engage. And then just finding that last lock. There we go. So that can be super frustrating at times, just because it does take a lot of messing around. Now you can see the airbag just pops out. So I'll just slide this back semi into place. I'm not going to lock it in. And I will rotate my steering wheel back. And now I can remove the airbag. So you can see here there's 2 connectors on the back of the airbag. They're spring loaded, so they've got little orange tabs on the side. You need to pull up on both of those tabs at the same time, and that will release the connector from the airbag. This can also be a bit tricky because you can't really fit your fingers in there. At least I can't. But you can reach the outer one fairly easily, and you can use whatever tools you have to kind of help you pop those out, and they'll pop out just like that. There we go. So that's the airbag out. Put that somewhere safe. Alright, this is what we're looking at inside the steering wheel. So we've got some connections. We've got our airbag connections. Those are out of the way. We've got right here this connection. That needs to come undone. So these are just quick release, little tab on the side, and they'll slide apart. Okay, and then you've got this lower connection, which we just disconnected, is the steering wheel heater connection. So if you have a steering wheel heater, you disconnect that. If you don't have to worry about it. The top connection up here that you can see, that's your clock spring connection. And so you need to release that in order to remove the steering wheel. So access is from the bottom. It's just like a little tab on the bottom, and you can just wiggle it out with a finger. And it looks like on the clock spring I got a bit of chafing there, just ever so slightly on that red wire, but that's not it's not through the insulation or anything, so that's fine. Okay, now we get our big ass Torx. Okay, now we take our T50 Torx. We gotta remove the steering wheel bolt. She's usually on there pretty good. Okay, now you can remove your steering wheel. So when you do this, be careful. Some of the wires will pass through the back of the steering wheel. You don't want them to, those leads to get caught, or else you'll damage them. So gently just pull my airbag leads through, and there we go. Steering wheel removed. Okay, now we can remove our lower cowl. Just these two and the lower screw. And you just maneuver the cowl around your lever. It's easier if you lower it down. Get it out of the way. There we go. Okay, so this is your clock spring. Try and keep that in the vertical orientation like this while you work. The module that I want to take a look at is right here. And those wires are bent pretty substantially. So there's two screws that hold this module in place. One is located right here, and one at the back right in here. Super small module. You can see the blue wire. That's what connects it to the ring. So we'll go ahead and pull that out, and you can kind of see what it looks like. Okay, there's our module connector on the back side. Just remove the connector. I got a bit of strain on this wire. I'll just open this up and see if that strain is what has caused our damage. Don't see any obvious damage. So for now, I'm going to assume that this is okay. But it's good to have access to it because we're going to test it. And then if I do need to remove it, I'll have it right there. So I'll be able to pop it out. Reinstallation of everything is the opposite of removal. So from this point, you would put your lower cowling back on, and then obviously you screw your module in, lower cowling back on, and then steering wheel reinstallation. It's a lot easier to install than it is to remove. There's a timing mark on your steering column shaft right here. That timing mark aligns with the timing mark that is in the bottom of your steering wheel there. So that lines up. There's only one way to install them. It won't let you. There's like interruptions in the splines. It'll only allow you to install it in one orientation. So